All right. We're going live a little early because y'all are talking to me in chat and I don't want to type anymore. So get in here, take a seat, and behave. I know you're kidding, and I will make you. Hey, Bossy Butt. Hi, Laverne. Um, already got Cat. Hi, CB. Never gonna happen. That I knew with you. Hi, Barbara. Barbara, I was so bummed that you didn't get the duck. I even put a number in, and if I won, I was going to send it to you. Hi, Missy. Terry. All right, I think I'm down at the bottom of chat now. So, yeah, I had a crazy weekend, and I come unprepared, and that may be an understatement. Unprepared, exhausted, hungry, you name it. I'm that. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Kristen. We'll just give it a minute or two for people to come on in here. Hi, Joanne. Joanne's got me working on a new project, and I'm going to show it toward the end, and y'all are going to have to help me with it. I know I have Goggle, but I like getting the audience input here. So, yeah, and I got a bunch of ATCs to send today, and I suspect this week and next week I'll be getting a lot more in. But I did count, including the ones I'm showing today. I think we've got 24 participants. So that's pretty darn good turnout, I think. You're having tornadoes? Oh my gosh. Keeks, where are you at? We had crap weather yesterday, horribly. It's been that way for a while. So Dee Dee should be here in a minute. Thoughtful of you on the weekend. You bought yourself a rubber duck nightlight for the sweet husband has the patience of Job. Rubber has the patience of Job just to live with me. Okay, you're up in Missouri. See, I'm in the very northeast corner of Oklahoma. So, yeah, it's scary. And they already had some up around St. Louis, I think. It was just storms all around us yesterday. It was bad. And we had a house full of people and a dog that had to go in and out. And so, yeah. But it was a really fun weekend. Having all the kids here was really fun. And Saturday we went to a baseball game for like little 8-year-old boys. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you haven't gone to a baseball game of little boys, it's like a clown circus or something. It's so funny. They're all so serious though, like they're totally in their stance and they got all their gear and everything. And then here comes the ball, whether it's batting, throwing, whatever. Oh, it's fun. Even parts of Texas. Yeah, it was crazy here yesterday. Yeah, Kentucky was hit bad. I saw that, Cat. I hope Colleen's okay. I did see that and wondered about it. So, yeah. But that was fun to go to it was hot on Saturday. And so, but it was fun to go to the baseball game and see those little guys. And then, yeah, yesterday we just pretty much hung out all day and ate. That's all we did. Yeah, you do have to pay attention when the weather's around you. And the nice thing about a tornado is you generally have ample warning to get yourself safe. And a few years ago, we had a tornado shelter put in. And we've only ever been in it once. And I don't ever want to go back. But at least if something should happen, we do have a safe place to go. Hi, Linda. Give Tim a hug. So, in fact, I need to get the door to the tornado shelter painted. It's starting to rust. So, it's always something, you guys. Always something. If you're a homeowner, always something. But listen to me whining, doing what I do best. So, but yeah, I hope everybody stays safe. I'll keep you in my prayers, Keeks. This seems late to me that we're into middle of May and beyond and still getting tornado warnings, Usually it's April, mid-April, I think is when it's usually really bad. Yeah, I've been under a funnel before too. Okay, I'll tell you a story about I worked in downtown Denver, and this was in the early 80s. And it was a high rise, 40-story high rise. And we were, hi Dee Dee, hi Christina. Anyway, 40-story high rise, all glass building. And we had a tornado warning for downtown Denver. Those idiots, I don't know if they didn't have a plan or what, but they evacuated all of us down into the main atria part of the building. Glass above us, glass on every side of us. I was standing there with a friend of mine who was also had been from Denver and knew about tornadoes and all. Hi, Dorothy. And she's like, I'd feel safer up on the 7th floor under my desk. It's like, you think? Like, where are you gonna go? Like, you're gonna have glass falling on you, and oh my God, it was crazy. I'd like to think that they changed their policy after that. I mean, at least keep us in the stairwells. Me and my friend ended up going over into the stairwell just because you're in a cement enclosure, right? You have a better chance there. I wouldn't be in the elevator, but in the stairwell, I felt safe. And it never ever hit. I don't know if there was no damage or what, but yeah, it didn't hit us. But yeah, put us in the atrium, dumbasses. Anyway, all right, we're not early anymore. We're 5 minutes in. Clowns to the left and clowns to the right. You guys, I got so much ATCs, and I'm just going to pull them in the order because I stacked them all up. Okay, this one is from Devon. Is Devon here yet? Did I say hi to Bossy Butt already? Let me see if she said, yep, there's Devon. Okay, Devon had written on the envelope, personal, cards only, no value. I wrote on the envelope, liar, liar, pants on fire. It's all priceless. Are you kidding me? I had to, no, I just went out and checked, Dee Dee. Well, in fact, when we were talking, I walked out and checked. So let me show you all the fun stuff first, and then I'll show the ATCs. The post office person wrote that. Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, it's priceless. What are you talking about, you big dork? She sent me a couple of her foamies stamped out, so thank you. I will find a fun place for those. Maybe in the journal that I'm going to start. And then I love this marble paper that that Devon has done. I don't have anything to do it, but it's still really cool. And she wants me to know that somebody cares, but not her. But those marble papers are so cool, Devon. I actually want to try it, but then after I have it, I'd do it once and never do it again, you know? And she said, thanks for co-hosting, and she sent me these cool stickers. So that's very fun. And let me see. And then more of fun stickers. Not today, loser. There's some cats. I like the cats. And then Curious George. Thank you, Devon. I will be using them. Curious George always ends up in the Beast. And there was really pretty washi tape around the ATC card, so I already took that off everything and put it in the Beast already. And so these are the, gosh, excuse me. These are the ones she sent for giveaway. And this is Paris. Can you guys see them good? Yeah, I'm pretty close up. This is USA, Wall Street, Empire State Building. The background is very cool, Devon. Africa. And they're collage onto the background. New Zealand. And if you want to tell the people in chat the background. Hi, Icy. Yeah, New York was really cool. They're all very cool. There's so many different little elements in it. There's type on it. There's maps. Yeah, it's very good. And with an ATC, you only have 2.5 by 3.5 to work on. So she crammed a lot on this substrate for sure. This one's Vietnam. It's very cool. London. They have sheep in London. Yeah, I saw them being made too. But I think when the stream ended, she hadn't finished them, but she did the transfer, and it's very cool. Italy. Oop, there's two smushed together. Hang on, let me separate them. Ireland. Ireland's going through a lot right now. And Amsterdam. Smoked fish in Alberta. Some kind of market. I can't really read it. Cool, bossy. Wait, there's another one. And this is Australia. And then, thank you so much for sending some extras, Devon. I'll show you the extras. That was 10 for the giveaway. And then she sent, I think it was 10 more that were extras. So that makes the swap so much easier, honestly. And yeah, and I will swap them out. I will share them. Did I say hi, Kathleen? So they're the same art, but not on the jelly plate background, which was very cool. So these are the same cards, I think. Maybe not exact, but this one's Wall Street. Yeah, Empire State. I think it is. New Zealand. You crammed a bunch of stuff on here. Queen Beatrix. Tulips. The Mona Lisa. This one I will actually, usually when I do a swap, I don't choose specific for people. But in this case, I will absolutely make sure that this one gets to Dee Dee because of the Mona Lisa. That's her muse. Yeah, the second set is way cool too, right? Yeah, so that one will definitely, in fact, I'll put it at the front. So as soon as I open it, I see that I have to rig the swap, which I don't do often. I really don't. I just deal them out like a deck of cards. Well, there's not time to start trying to rig anything, you know? Very cool. I like this one with the girl trying to hold up the Leaning Tower. That one's really cool. And I didn't see it so clearly on the giveaway ones, but then this one, you can see it really clearly. It's really cool. And I've seen other pictures like that, you know, where people are holding up the Leaning Tower, grabbing the sun in their hands. They're all really cool. So, good job, Bossy Butt. Yeah, you are co-swappers, so I'm going to throw that one away because I'm just going to mess it up. So thanks for playing with us. Got to get all this stuff back in here now. Next one up is from Margarite Mitchell from beautiful British Columbia. Two Canadians in a row. Oh, these were very cool too. I always look at them when they come. Hey, Barb Owen. You were surprised by how small the Mona Lisa is, but very compelling. Yeah, I've heard that several times, Dorothy. Yeah. Yep. Thumbs up would be appreciated. All right. These are from Margarite, and they're not, well, they're all the same, but obviously because each one is original, slightly positioning and stuff like that a little bit different. So, and it looks like she used paint for the background and then rubber stamps for the images. So very cool, Marguerite. Some lucky person's going to get these. The background's very fun. Yep, love the birds and Eiffel Tower in the background. So very cool, Marguerite. Glad you played with us. Oh, and then she sent me images of the Eiffel Tower that she stamped out, that she had everything wrapped in. So I'll have to cut those out and turn them into something. All right, hang on. Next one up is Zeely Green. I don't think Zeely is here, but these are adorable. In a bright orange envelope. The mailman can't lose that. So look at these. They're all similar, but the little girls are so adorable. And those are fussy cut out. I think it's a digital that she cut out and then collaged on with some ephemera and stuff. So this was, oh, that's Sydney Opera House, Australia. This is US with Mount Rushmore. And the back is really cute too. She put a little tag in there of contact information. This is the pyramids, Cairo. I love the little ephemera. So cute. This is Mexico in the background. I just bought a lily like that at Lowe's, only mine's completely white, and I got it for no money in a really cool pot. I called Dee Dee. I was just like, my lucky day. But so I have one of those blooming right now. Leaning Tower again. Good use of the ephemera and stuff. She's good at layering. Good job, Zeely. Colosseum, obviously. This is Brazil. Christ the Reformer. But I just love the ephemera. So cool. Can't tell. Oh. Easter Island. I know, the girls are so darn cute, right? And then Eiffel Tower. Every recipient will get at least one card with the Eiffel Tower on it, because a lot of people use that, which I totally understand. I mean, it's probably the most famous landmark on Earth. So, and so much craft stuff includes it. So, not even surprised. And who wouldn't want that? Okay, and that was Zeely again. This one's Kathleen. They're all so different. That's what I love about doing swaps. Well, there you go, Barbara. You just saw the Digi in action. Get on it. And this is collage. I'm not sure how she did the background. It's really hard to tell. But she painted gold around the edge of this one. So that's Egypt. And this again is Kathleen. Ireland. I always wonder where everybody gets all their ephemera from. Are you printing it out on the computer? Did you buy it in the ephemera pack? Yeah, Easter Island. Yeah, that's very cool. Hi, Belinda. The Queen. I'm just going to tell you, the queen is mine. This is mine. I'm saving it. I'm keeping it. In Ireland again. I'm glad people pick different locations and stuff. Iceland. What do they call those birds? Somebody in chat will know. There's another Ireland one. Isle of Man. Dee Dee, what was the name of the fib that we had that lived on the Isle of Man? When I got this the first time, was it Lily? But we had a fib that lived on the Isle of Man. And I sent her granddaughter, I don't know. I sent a puffin, that's it. I sent her daughter or her granddaughter a whole pack of stuff. Probably cost me $1 million, but yeah, they're very good. They're very cool cards. Paris, she drew the Eiffel Tower, you losers. Fiona, that's what it was, Kat. Okay, it was Fiona. Yep. That's a long time. So some of them are collaged. This one's hand-drawn. Fiona, that's what it was. Wonder what Fiona's doing now. This is Netherlands with tulips. Japan, she drew this as well. Good job, Kathleen. The backgrounds are cool. And then Scotland. Got the little flag on it. So good job. The fibs are incredibly talented, CB. I say that every time we do a swap or somehow I get my filthy little mitts on fib artwork. The fibs never cease to amaze me with their creative talents. And given a task, they all just kill it. And this one is from Terry Brett. And Terry was just like, is it there yet? Is it there yet? It finally got here, Terry. It was a big old envelope. I love this. Hi, Angie. You're not what? You're not talented? Angie, go sit in the corner because I've seen your bowls. I've seen some of your crafts. So, yeah. So she sent me some pattern paper, both sides, of enlarged stampage, which I love. It took this slow route. I know last time yours was here like in a week, I think. But this stampage is very cool. And the back side is exactly like the front. But it is double-sided, which is very cool. Love that ship. I love all of it. Are you kidding me? Oh, I need to pull the camera out because I'm not getting all of it. Doing my best here. There's a big old Eiffel Tower. Hi, Kimberly. Did you tear these out of a book, Terry, or were they pattern paper? Because they're torn on this edge. So I'm thinking, there's another Eiffel Tower. Half of these places I'd have to look up, other than the Eiffel Tower, obviously, or the Colosseum, or, yeah. You'd think with all my passport research that I would, okay, they're out of a book, yeah, because that I would know this stuff. Obviously, I know the Statue of Liberty. I don't see the Alamo anywhere. Colosseum. So, very cool, Terry. Thank you. They will get well used and loved. I'm going to try and put things back as I go. And then something in here was put together with these paper clips, but I took everything apart, so yeah, whatever. Oh, Terry, I'm going to save this for last. I looked at this so many days ago and so much has happened, I'd forgotten how awesome. One of the things, well, that's all awesome, but one of the things is way awesome. And then she sent me some stickers. I'm ready to receive some abundance, like what? Whenever. Peace from within must be unaffected by bullshit. Peace starts, oh, and I have to be careful because there might be dirty words. Let me look at them first. This one I can't show. That one just has all bad words. All bad words, but it's in there. Happiness comes to those who wait. Live life slow. Time to relax. Born to be mild. You'll get there eventually. Do not disturb the slow life. I love me a sloth. And she even wrote on it, if you open this on stream, be really careful. Well, Terry, I didn't heed your warning. Yeah, I warned you. You did warn me. But that's okay. Made me laugh. I don't care. Hang on. Putting the very cool things back together. And then I thought this was very cool pattern paper. Did this remind you of me because of the food packaging? Because I draw food packaging. But it's got all stuff from my childhood, you know, Spam, the Beatles, a rotten banana, Coca-Cola, icons of the 60s. Very cool. Very, very cool. How can you not love that? And then Terry did her own little passport journal zine. Look at this, you guys. I'll pull you down so you can kind of see it better. Soup, I know, tomato soup. Bonjour, merci. So typical Terry. Her little scenes, like with prompts and stuff. This is obviously France. And I think that was probably a stamp. No, that was one of those stickers. That's what that was. This is Hawaii. Okay, she used the stickers. Okay, because this is one of the stickers. And then this is Hawaii. So if we had done a zine swap, this would have been Terry's. It's so cute, Terry. Little hula dancer. You should have put the coconuts on her chest. Mexico. Olay. Shido. Oh, she had to look up these words. Shido is cool. Orale. I don't speak Spanish and I don't have the accent, so yeah. No matches is no way. Chihuahua is a dog. Look at that. That needs to be in a frame. The cactus with a sombrero on it, that is frameable artwork right there. Oh, Dee Dee, are you working that out? You're the best. I swear to God, Dee Dee, you are the best. I don't care what everybody else says about you. Thank you for the zine, Terry. This is just awesome. Just awesome. And it'll go in my zine box. And then Terry made a few extra of her zines as well. I know the drawings are so, I don't know, encompassing. It's almost like when you look at the Terry's drawings, you get a flavor for what's going on. This morning's prompts were really good. All right, awesome. Thanks, Dee Dee. This is USA. Mount Rushmore, Las Vegas. I've been to Las Vegas a ton of times. If you've never been, it's a fun trip. But make sure you wear really good shoes. Paris with the Eiffel Tower. And there, I don't know the name of that building. Australia. These are awesome, Terry. Koala, kangaroo. I haven't picked one of Terry's that I'm going to keep. This is Japan. They're all so different and also cool, Terry. You put a lot of time into these. Life is beautiful. This is India. India, of all the places in the Passport Journal that I enjoyed going and reading about and learning about, India was probably one that, one, surprised me, and two, made me feel like that really is someplace I'd like to go. And I have a really neat, it's a shawl, but I put it on my dining room table, of their textile. It's so yummy. It's silky, and I don't even know how to describe it. It's so pretty. Anyway, my niece brought it because she goes to India all the time for work. Another Japan. Cherry blossom. Mount Fuji. The Great Pyramids. Egypt. Ah, there's the Queen. That's the Queen being cool. I think I'm going to have to keep another Queen. I love the Queen. I'm still sad that the Queen has passed. Big Ben. Phone booth. Very good, Terry. Let the adventure begin. This is Greece. Greece might be a fun place to travel. I think the history there. And Greece was not one of the countries, I don't think, in my book. So that may have to be an optional one that I want to do, because Greece has always kind of intrigued me. Follow your heart. So good, Terry. So good. And then she sent another little package with some extras in it. And I always appreciate the extras, because when we do these swaps, we say submit 10, get 9 back. But when people are generous and are willing to send in extras, it's more likely that you're going to get 10 back for the 10 you sent. So to those of you who shove in a few little extras, it's very much appreciated. Not just by me. I know the fibs who receive them back. And this year they're going to be in sleeves. So if you get one, the sleeves will hold 9. If there is an extra, I'll either tuck it in or I'll just put it on the back. Did you see the Queen taking tea with Paddington Bear? That sounds familiar, Dorothy. Did I say hi, Lady Jan? I saw you come in, but I was running off at the mouth as usual. Nice. Africa. I don't really know if those are African elephants or not. Dead Queen's birthday weekend? Is it really? Peru, one of my really good friends went to Peru with her husband right before he was diagnosed with cancer, and died like in 6 weeks. So whenever I think of Peru, I think of my friend BJ and her husband being able to take that trip and have such an awesome journey. So that brings back good memories of BJ and poor little, I called him poor little old Alan because he was married to BJ. I always asked her, how's poor little old Alan? Because she had to be more than a handful. This is Thailand. They're all so good, Terry. The backgrounds are good. This is Canada. How cute is that? So somebody's going to get really, really lucky, and then Christ the Redeemer from Brazil. Nice, Terry. Very nice. And thank you. Thank you for all the goodies. Thank you for the extras. I'll say it again and again and again. You guys are the absolute best. Well, how could we not be supportive? You're such a pain in the neck. What did CB say? Yeah, the Canada one is very cool, isn't it? And I'm just going to deal them out. So whoever gets it, you're just going to be lucky. They're all great, right? Next up is CB. And CB, I already scarfed the artwork off the back of the envelope and put it in the beast. Look at I can't, well, hang on just a second. Maybe I can not show the envelope. Or Hang on, hang on. There's more than one way to skin a cat. This was the artwork on the envelope from CB. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And that's more digi art. I'm going to have to look into digi art. It's the last thing in the world I want to do, but I'm going to do it. You want one of each? I hear you, Joanne. It's always hard for me to start dealing them out, knowing this is it. They're going to be gone. You were too poor to go to too many countries. It's okay, CB. You made up for it in quality. And then for her return envelope, she also did artwork on her own envelope, which was very cool. All right, and this is a little packet of extra stuff that she sent. Some stars, some little, I don't know what you call this stuff. Ribbon, star ribbon, which is still very cool. I probably will end up putting that in the passport journal, honestly. And then a ruler, because everybody needs more rulers. And look at what CB sent me. Diamonds. I got diamonds. How many of you other guys sent me diamonds? Nobody. Thanks, CB. The queen needs more diamonds. And then look at some digi art. I think this is actually a copy of the one that I took off the envelope. Isn't that cute, though? I'll share some of this stuff with you guys for sure. Look at this. Don't you wish we were all so damn cute when we're such a mess? I never look that cute when I'm dirty and messy. Yes, CB does know how to treat a queen. She spent 2 weeks with me in Australia. Look at that. Cool. Cool. And CB, I have to say thank you for fussy cutting this stuff, because I'm not a good fussy cutter. And this I'll just throw in my ephemera box. So it'll appear another time on something. I need to make another box sometime soon. So very cool. And some stickers of more cute girls to remind me that I used to be cute when I was young. Only I never had blue hair. You can get anything on the internet these days, you know? Yeah, I am no longer. Well, I don't remember what we were even talking about last night, but we were all sitting around talking. And I said something about, well, that was back when we were cool. Do you guys not recognize that we are no longer cool? But we were talking about something from the past. And it just dawned on me. Yeah, we're no longer cool. And then she did this is just some stuff. Another ATC with a little tiny paper clip on it. How cute. Crazy cat lady. I prefer the term dedicated feline enthusiast. Isn't that cute? It's ATC size. Sorry, I can't have Sorry, I can't. I have plans with my cat. I need to get a cat, so that can be my excuse for why I don't do anything at all. Introverted, but willing to discuss cats. This reminds me an awful lot of Terry Brett, too. I don't like morning people, or mornings, or people. Me. Perfect. They are adorable, right, Terry? I just found out recently that Terry is a crazy cat lady. I try to be a nice person, but sometimes my mouth doesn't cooperate. Hey, sister. Easily distracted by cats and books. That would be Dee Dee, of course. Malibu. The cat doesn't look like Mally and Ollie, but yeah. Cats and books. You smell like drama and a headache. Please get away from me. I wanted to give this one to Angie because she told us in chat today that she smelled. You smell. I'll mark everything off. You smell. Sorry I'm late. My cat was sitting on me. That one's adorable. Thank you, CB. All that was so much fun. Now I have, no, I'll put it back in its little envelope so I don't lose anything. I'm always afraid I'm going to lose stuff. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with my diamonds. Probably take them down to the pawn shop. And then, what you've been waiting for, wait for it. Typical CB perfection, you know? And they're all much the same kind of layout, but each one, of course, created individually of the Ukraine. And it's not the Ukraine, it's just Ukraine. And they're layered up so they feel nice and substantial. But typical of CB. I don't want to hear anything about perfection. You were being political? Well, you get to be that if you want. I don't care. You got to be ready to take on a fight. They are. They're really nice, CB. Ukraine's definitely got their hands full right now. Well done, CB. Well done. So you might get a Ukraine card. Thanks for playing with us, CB, and thanks for all the other fun stuff. Awesome, as usual. As usual. And then we've got Chris Bernadac. And I'm going to say the name I think she goes by on IG is Crafty Chris MN. And she is from Minnesota. So, yeah, Crafty Chris is how you may know her. She wrote a note and said, thanks for organizing. She's been crafting along with this crazy, in a good way, group off and on for years, enjoying the snark, banter, and loads of laughter, the quick links for the never-ending enabling. For the first time, I joined in your scabby hunt and enjoyed this so much. Your something friend. Lurker friend, Chris. So, Chris, if you're lurking, thank you for being supportive for all these years. And yeah, love your swap cards. Some very similar and then some vastly different. But I love the, I'm going to say Japanese writing paper. And then the little embellishment, it looks like it's been stamped on and colored in. So hers are mostly Japan. And then here's the Eiffel Tower. 2 of those. So well done, Chris. And this background is all stamped. And then one of the Timmy guys added on. So it's really, really cute. Very fun. Very different. I mean, that's the thing that always gets me is they're always so different. Everybody's take is just a little different, but very cleverly put together. Yeah, they are. They're very pretty. So, Chris, I'm glad you came out of lurking and decided to join in with us. I love when new people... Well, I love when new people win at Dee Dee's, and I love when new people do a swap or something for the first time. It means we're indoctrinating them. So Yeah. Oh, I told Beth this morning that I had shown hers at a prior stream, and I didn't. These are them right now. But I've had these for a long time. If I remember right, they're very cool. Yep. So sorry, Beth. I lied to you. But no, I didn't lie knowingly or willingly. It was unwittingly. Look at how colorful. Ireland. Japan. How cool are these? Not sure. She didn't put anything on the back. On these, I will write her name on the back. Look at an outer space one. I wanted Dee Dee to do an outer space one, but she didn't listen to me. United Kingdom. Queen again. Cool queen. Another Japan. I love the background on this one, especially. It's I don't know if it's stamped, if it's wrapping. I don't know, but it's very cool. Can you see the background? Yeah, you can see the gold background on black. It's really cool. Native America. Or that could be Canada too. They also had, okay, let's see. Well, now this one she put a thing on. Yeah, she's saying Native American. Sacred Feminine. Women of the World. And this is Frida. If Xandra was participating, I would make sure Xandra got this one. And this one's very fluorescent. You can't tell, I don't think, in the camera, but this background is like in your eyes. Yeah, I wouldn't send anything out, Devon. I'd just have you send me everything about the Queen. And this again is Native American. How many did she send? Okay, she sent one extra. A little gecko down there, American flag. This one's Australia. Indigenous people. And hers, she kind of did, she gave each one a title is what it is. Sacred Feminine, India. So she gave it kind of a feminine slant. So it was just that one, I guess, that didn't have a backer on it. Yeah, it was this one. But yeah, I don't have to write the names on them. So look at how cool that is. That looks like Africa. Yeah, Africa. And that she has a little symbol down here, and underneath it, it says, I think, humility and strength. Yeah, humility and strength. And this one is like iridescent painty in the background. I don't know if you can tell. They're very cool. Yeah, very cohesive. Yeah, this one was nothing on the back. So maybe that's why it was just an extra one. But it was kind of like a book on top. Travel teaches us how to see. Well done, Beth. I don't know if Beth is here. And I feel bad now that I told her that I'd already shown them. But my bad. My bad. And then, let me get these in here, make sure I've got the self-addressed stamped envelope. Yep, there it is. Last but not least, and the mail may still come today. I'll have Robert check it in a little while. Is Joanne, and she sent a big fat boy envelope. Joanne Newman from Canada. She sent me one little card separate from the rest that is specific to Oklahoma. So that's the state seal. I don't know if that's the bird. The bird I know is the scissortail flycatcher. And then buffaloes. We have a bunch of buffalo about 15 miles from here. And look at that little monkey. Focus, you freak. Thanks, Joanne. Oh, I'm sure it's in the mailman's car. It's just a matter of when will the mailman get here. You know what I mean? That's always the question. And then she sent these 2 awesome bookmarks. And these are Indigenous Collection, Catching Dreams. The artist's name is Betty Albert Cree. Oh, Betty Albert. She is a Cree Indian. Beautiful art. Absolutely gorgeous art. And then that's the self-addressed stamped envelope. So I got to make sure I don't lose that. And I'm going to make a pile. I won't do anything until I get this swap done. But then I'll make a pile of stuff that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to save the ATCs for last. And wouldn't you know, I dropped something. Oh, she sent me a little packet of a bunch of, oh, that's a chicken. A bunch of canceled postage, which I always appreciate. I love me some postage. And I have to keep the chicken out because it has to do with what we're going to talk about today. So thanks, Joanne, for the postages. And then this is her, the artist's name is Stephanie White, and it's got a note in here. This is her artwork, Spirit Bear. And she wrote a note and said, thanks for all you do. Doing another swap has been great fun. I included a few extras and made one of your home state as a gift. Hope you like it. I do. I love it. I also sent a few more goodies for your amusement, and I'm highly amused. Nothing like a monkey butt to make you smile. Isn't that the truth? It's a chicken. Look it. And I'm going to show you the other stuff before I show the ATCs, but I have to keep that one out. This packet of stuff was cracking me up. Cracking me up. These are images from Etsy, and you saw these at Dee Dee's this morning. The funny, cheeky monkeys are from Sweenique, SWEENIQUE Designs, and the animals and PJs are from America Design Studio. So after getting some of this stuff from CB and Joanne, I have to say I'm going to have to resist going and looking at all the cool digital art. I really am, because this stuff is just too delicious to be real. So I think these are the, okay, let me put this over here. These are the chickens, and these are the ones I'm going to use today. I'm going to flip through them. Look at these chickens in pajamas. I think I'm a little late to the party, but I think it would be really fun to do this kind of digi art. And I'm glad people are buying it, and you know that somebody can make a business out of it, because who doesn't want that? Can anybody explain that to me? Look at this one. I don't know if I'm drunk or I'm stupid, but I'm one. They're so cute. So cute. What? They're almost, you can almost hear them talking, right? Look at her face. Oh my God, that's priceless. Whoever does this has a great imagination, you know? You hear him talking. Hi, Teresa. Congratulations on your win this morning. Conspiracy chickens. They're all just priceless. Priceless. That's how I felt this morning when I had to get out of bed because the kids left this morning really early. Well, really early for me. Most people have probably been up half the day by then, but for me, it was really early. And that's exactly what I look like. Could you just get in the car and go now? The flowers on the hoodie. Yeah, they're all so unbelievably excellent. Like, I don't know how you could choose. And then this is what she was talking about. If butts offend you, look away. Look away. Look at this. Oh, I dropped his buddy. I'll get him in a minute. Okay, you got them on Etsy called Animals in Pajamas. They're so excellent. Holy crap. Who, me? That tail is becoming a problem. What? I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Oh my God. Joanne, these are so excellent. It's not even funny. This one with the tail cracked me up. Totally cracked me up. And then we've got, okay, this was a free image. This monkey was a free image from Pixabay. And this was a free image from Pixabay. Look at that little baby monkey. You banana. So one of those will definitely end up. I'll pull out the scavenger hunt and put one of them in there. You were so generous, Joanne. Oh my God, look at these. So I will be cutting these in half, and I'll try and share as much as I can. But I'm keeping one of everything, just so you know. Yeah, they were made for me, Kimberly. Whoever did these definitely knows that there's some weird-ass grandmother out in Oklahoma who needed these in her life. Look at this one. We bad. We bad. Ah, they're priceless. Absolutely priceless, Joanne. Thank you. Thank you again. But these I'm going to save out. Because last but not least, she did participate in the ATC swap. And she didn't have to, but she did. She put hers in a sleeve. So I probably should have taken them out so they were a little easier to show. But she did Canada. She did some US. She did a little bit of everything too. So let me move this so you can kind of see each one individually. Can you see the little sparkly Canada maple leaf? Cool. Oh, Queen. I'm glad so many of you chose the Queen. The animals in PJs are under $5 for 133 images. That's insanely cheap. Yeah, the sticker's cool on the Canada one. This one is obviously Egypt and Broadway, US. Monkey playing a banjo. They're not a banjo, that's a bass. Never mind, sorry. Look at this. Easter Island with the bunny in there. That's so cute. That's a cute imagination, Joanne, for sure. A raccoon playing a bass. My God, was my brain broken? Saskatoon. You guys have a Broadway in Saskatoon as well? Maybe I should start over. Monkeys on the mind. Monkey butts on my mind. Here's typical Canada. Canada was the first time I ever saw a moose. Got another Canada sticker on it and a Canada goose. Now all I have to do is walk out in my backyard to see a Canada goose. This is Australia, koala and a kangaroo. I knew those animals. I just have trouble with raccoons. Broadway Avenue in Saskatoon. Now, Joanne, does Broadway Avenue in Saskatoon do the theater shows and stuff like that? Because that's what Broadway in U.S. is all about. You go to Broadway for the theater. And this is Ireland. Well done. You've got great ephemera for all of these. Again, Egypt. Japan. I'm taking them out of the sleeve because some of them were doubled up. So how cute is that? Well done. Oh, no, I like the Canada geese. And right now, this time of year, the Canadian geese are especially fun to have around because they've had their babies and they're old enough to take out. And so I love when they bring their babies to the backyard, and you can tell they're teaching them. You know, you can watch their behavior and see that they're teaching the kids, you know, how far they can go. And yeah, it's Saskatchewan Pool, Scottsburg. I may have been there. I don't know. Very cool, though. Another Aussie. That's a very cool cat. Kangaroo. That must be a digi, huh? Awesome. Awesomely cool. Look at this. That's got to be North Pole. Did she put it? This is Elfville, somewhere in the North Pole. He's got little shimmery on his fur. Can you see that? Very cute. And these are all collage. Fly Me to the Moon. That's cute. And then one more. New York City. Okay, another Broadway. See why I was confused? A Goose in the Chimney? Let's see, a Goose in the Chimney. New York, New York. There was a boat. I don't know if it got on national news or not, but there was a boat from Mexico, a big boat, crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. I think it was the Brooklyn Bridge. I didn't get much news this weekend because the kids were here, of course, and we didn't have TV on. But yeah, I mean, there were deaths and injuries, and man, it must have been bad. And I haven't seen anything about it yet, so I'm going to have to look into that later. But that's a scary thing. It was a sailing boat? Okay. Yeah, I know it was on the news, but with the kids here, we weren't watching the news. You saw, yeah, 2 dead crew. But I think I saw that they had airlifted out like 20-some people. That's unbelievable. But Joanne, these are awesome. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, Joanne sent a bunch of extras too, so I will be sharing with you guys. I think it's going to work out because I did a whole nother set, and I think Dee Dee did a whole nother set. So we're going to have plenty of cards, and I can't say it with absolute certainty, but it looks to me right now like y'all are going to be able to get 10 back. At least 10. And I just keep dealing until I run out. When I run out, I run out. But those are cool. Thanks for playing, Joanne, and thank you so much for all the extra goodies. I can't tell you how much the monkey butts cracked me up. Totally cracked me up. And the dressed up chickens aren't going back in. Because the other day last week, Dee Dee showed you hers. But I hadn't gotten mine yet. Right, Teresa? It's crazy. But anyway, last week I got in the mail, Dee Dee told you guys that she had sent me a silver cat, like a tinfoil hat wearing freak, because that would be me. But when I got mine, I had to alter it and put Ask Me Anything on it, because I am a crazy conspiracy theorist kind of nut. And Dee Dee and I talk about conspiracy theories. So I love my hat. And Nathan, Robert's grandson, saw it and he was just like, oh my God, that's so perfect. Because I force him to, oops, I dropped it. I force him to listen to me too. But he likes it when we have crazy talks like that and we argue. And yeah, but he's a crazy conspiracy theorist too. So that was the monkey I dropped. I'll leave him because he can go in the beast being saying something ridiculous. So after I got, and you know, Dee Dee has her conspiracy chicken, and we talk about it at Dee Dee's all the time about conspiracy chickens. When I got these chickens in and I had my conspiracy hat, it kind of had me in the perfect mindset to go, you know what I need in my life is a conspiracy chicken journal. So these conspiracy chickens in pajamas are going to go in to a journal that I'm going to start. So now I'll have 2 journals go. Well, I'll have 3 if I count the beast. 3 ongoing journals, 1 the passport journal, 1 the conspiracy chicken journal, and then the beast. So and because this is a new thought that I just came up with, hang on, I'm taking off my sweatshirt because it's getting warm in here. I'm going to make you guys, because y'all can say you're not conspiracy chickens, but you are. You know you are. I'm going to make you guys help me come up with a list of conspiracies that, go get it, Tina. Hi, by the way. That I'm going to have to research and include in my conspiracy journal. And I did a reasonable size one this time. I didn't do that honkin' passport journal size. This one is about 6 inches by 8 inches, and it's got dot grid paper in it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm kind of thinking going in that they'll probably end up having to be double page spread. Hi, Jane. And anybody I missed. I know I probably missed. Hi, Sherry. I probably missed a bunch of you coming in. But for the size of the conspiracy chickens, I'm going to trim one out real quick. And I'm going to leave the background because there's no way I'm fussy cutting that, okay? That's just the way it is. Hang on. So what do you guys think about that idea? And will you help me put together a list of conspiracies that you want me to look into? I have a few favorites. And then I'm sure there's tons out there that I know absolutely nothing about. So I'm going to have to do the research and figure out format and what all I want to include in there. But that's why I'm thinking that these are going to have to be double page spreads, because each page will include the chicken, and I'm not sure what else. So I'll give the conspiracy a name, obviously. Tina's saying, I'll help you. Yeah, Tina's in. That's what I'm talking about. Aliens. Okay, now see, you guys are already talking about it. Let me get the paper here, but that's what I'm thinking about. And I want it to be fun, and I'll devote whatever time I have to get this done. So I'm going to be writing down. I'll leave the conspiracy chicken here to help us. Okay, I have to go back. Kathleen, Project Bluebeam. Oh my God, look at, there's so many. Aliens built the pyramids. Okay. Project Bluebeam. Now, see, that's one I don't even know. Oh, is Bluebeam the one that they're saying they can shoot down lasers and anything that's blue won't HA. Look at Tina is all over this stuff. HARP, CERN, Harrison Ford and movies. Now that one would be fun, I think. Because I'm just going to have to goggle this. And then Area 51, that one would have been on the list that I had if I just sat down and wrote it. Tartaria. That means I'm going to have to do some research on that because I don't know anything about that. A Chicken Plus Conspiracy. The Skinwalker. That's the ranches, right? Skinwalker Ranch. There, Dee Dee and I were talking about that, and I watched a couple of those shows, the fake events. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to come up when I. Are you talking fake events like what happened in Las Vegas and stuff like that? Giants is a good one. Is that what you're talking about, Tina? What was behind the Las Vegas shootings and stuff like that? Bigfoot is a great one. That one might be number one. What do you guys think about Bigfoot? The moon landing, that's another huge one. One that came to mind when I said moon landing is the flat earthers. And I've never looked into that because I really always thought they were kind of batshit crazy. The Illuminati, that's another one you hear a lot about. Well, I'll do Bigfoot, Sasquatch together. The reptilian, yeah, the New World Order and reptilian. Some of this is really hard to believe, you guys, but conspiracy chicken will figure it out. So if you guys didn't think I was weird enough before, yeah, this is where we're at. Mud flood. Never heard of that. I think I'm going to be finding out about it. The Giants. Dee Dee said the Giants. Flat Earth. JFK. JFK Jr. Death fake. I just saw something recently about that. That was the first I'd ever heard about that. And mud flood. I don't know what that is. Council of 300. Damn, you guys are all a bunch of conspiracy theorists. No wonder we like each other. Medical conspiracy. Hey, Barbara. I don't know what that is. Now, I have heard a lot about different things that our government has done medically, and then saying that they were doing what, in my opinion, would be some pretty sketchy things in the name of research. I have heard about that, but I'm not sure about medical conspiracy, Barbara, what exactly. Okay, the mud floods go with, okay. Got it, Dee Dee, thank you. Roswell, that's another good one. And chemtrails, that's another one. I don't know what to think about that either, but a lot of people talk about it a lot. The moon landing, yeah, that's always been Nephilim. COVID was engineered by the media. I'll just put generally COVID because I think we're so close to COVID still, even though, you know, in some ways it feels like it was yesterday, and in other ways it feels like it was another lifetime. I think we're so close to that we don't have anywhere remotely close to the truth. Fake news, yeah. which is, I'm beginning to suspect, all news. What about bats, Marguerite? Do I need to know Pete? Cloning? Oh, I'm just going to put simulation. Have you guys heard a lot of people talk about, holy crap, we're in the simulation? Or if you see something weird that they say, oh, the simulation has a glitch. Stonehenge, that'd be a good one to look into. You guys are giving me a great list. Thank you. 9/11, yeah. I've read and heard a lot about that. Chicken! Lizard people of LA. Are there lizard people? Other than the governor? Sorry. Medical conspiracy. I wrote that down, Barbara, but I'm not sure that I know what specifically. Deep state. Yeah, Teresa, I could. When I'm done, sure, I could put it on my post tab, Elvis. That's always been a good one too. And another one, now this one is really weird, you guys, if you are even remotely close to a conspiracy theorist. Which of the Apollo missions exploded and all the astronauts died? I saw something a few weeks ago that said that never happened and that those people are all still alive. And when you see the people, pictures of them supposedly aged, it was just like, get out of here, mRNA. I'm going to put that with COVID, because that they kind of go hand in hand, or at least in my mind they do, because that was the first I'd really heard about mRNA. And I'll put a note on here, put on community tab. And this channel is not turning into a conspiracy channel, okay? I'm going to do this journal, and it's going to be all about the fun. It's not going to be political. I'm just going to tell you what I'm reading out there. I may or may not have an opinion, and you may or may not know what my opinion is. How about that? Tim recently said, get rich quick is a conspiracy. Linda, Tim's not wrong. HAARP. I think I have that one. Yeah, I have that one already. And CERN. Dogman. What the heck is Dogman? Flat Earth, got that one. 9/11, got that one. Things like fluoridation, COVID, artificial diseases. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's tons of that. And, I'm not sure that we can ever know the truth on that, frankly, Barbara, because there's too many people with too many different ideas and too many people who are getting rich off it. That's how I feel. Mothman. Dee Dee is on this stuff, man. Go to Pete's channel and read his video titles. Lots and lots. Okay. That's a good idea, Tina. MLK. I'm not sure that MLK, any of the deaths of famous people, everybody's always going to have, some theory. I heard that one too, Laverne, the Titanic, that it wasn't the Titanic that sunk, that it was the sister ship that was almost identical for insurance. Transhumanism. I've heard about that too. But I would say they would definitely know whether or not that was Titanic. You've made 12 flowers. Good job, Angie. You are on it, girl. The Titanic was hit by another ship for a survivor. They didn't hit iceberg? All you had to do is, I know, but I wanted to find out how many of the fibs were interested in it, Dee Dee. Get out of the corner, Angie. Hurry, go pee before you make a mess on the floor. Vampires in LA? Nothing would surprise me out of LA. Just saying. That one's really crazy. Wormwood? I'm going to have more than enough to work with now. Damn, Tina. Silkwood. I'll have to look up that one. Apparently, I only know about the really well-known conspiracy, the face on Mars. What the hell, Tina? Now I'm going to have to go look at it. Anyway, the one with Sally Ride, yeah, the space shuttle. Columbia. It was an Apollo. The Columbia space mission. That's the one. ION. God, I can't even write. Yeah, I've got it, Barbara. I don't want to know who believes what. Yeah, that wasn't my intent, Jane. It was more because I love the conspiracy chicken. And I know there's tons of stuff out there. And I know there are people that have way too much time on their hands. Like they should be worrying about what they're going to fix for dinner and not worrying about whether or not the earth is flat. But I just think it would be fun. And I like looking into this stuff. You know, so much of it, I don't even know that I have a real opinion about it. It's just interesting to look into. And that one, what was it, Dee Dee? The ranch, something warm ranch. I don't know, but it's on the list. That was just interesting because they were filming it, and it was actual people saying, you know, just experiences they had actually had. Now, what makes me think that they're not lying too, because they've got a TV show on it now, The Death of Epstein. That's another one. We'll never know the truth about that. So just get that in your head. You can have all the opinions you want, but the truth of the matter is we will never know the truth of that. It will always be a question mark. Death of Epstein. His plane was traced by Monkey Works flying to Antarctica. They didn't cover. Yeah. See, Teresa, I've seen a lot of that too. And again, I think we'll just never know. Okay, Tina said she was working a temp job at Martin Marietta, went to the top of the building. That would have been fun. Watergate. Watergate is another thing that we'll never know the truth. We can talk about it until we're green, but we'll never know the truth. Chuck Mishler has great videos on transhumanism. Okay, Chuck Mishler. And I'm assuming he's on YouTube. Okay, Dee Dee, cool. My journal runneth over. I know. You need to journal all of these. Get on it, Teresa. Do you need some chickens? Twin Towers, that's another one, 9/11. Princess Diana, that would be a fun one just for me because I'm so in love with the Queen. I love Princess Diana. I think Princess Diana is what got me loving the Queen. The Firmament GoPro channel has video of rocket hitting the firmament. Wow. Skinwalker, that's the one. Man, I'm way lost in chat. Oh, the sun is fake. The moon is a reflection of Earth. Yeah, some of them get really crazy. Check my phone text. Okay, Tina, I will. Why the Antarctica is off limits. Now, I heard something about that just recently, and I don't understand that either. Okay, Tina, we'll talk later. Nicholson. You guys are going to keep me busy forever. 1968. They said the queen was a reptilian along most of. No, I don't believe that for a minute. The queen was a perfect little lady. The pyramids on Antarctica. And Hollow Moon. As compared to green cheese, Devon? The birds aren't real. See, there's not enough research that would ever make me believe that. Okay, good. Thanks, Teresa. I'll check into it. Back to driving now. Poor Devon is endangering her own life to give out input. Speaking of hollow earth. Now, see, when it comes to something like that, I have a hard time even biting into it because we have so much research. But do we know any? See, that's just it. That's when I start saying, no, that just can't be. That I think, you know what? They've lied to me about everything. Why would I think anything else they've ever told me is true? That's the sad reality of my life right now, is I don't trust anybody or anything. And that's a horrible place to be. I'm just saying. Oh, that it's not birds, some are drones. Yeah. And you could include in that the fire in Hawaii and stuff like that. Oh, my handwriting on this is an absolute mess. But thank you, Christina. All right, we're running out. Elvis Presley is still alive. I'll put. I think I have Elvis on. Yeah, I have Elvis on there. That's a fun theory, but I don't know that I believe it. But I wouldn't blame him if he faked his. In fact, that's a lot of the conspiracies that I hear are people who have faked their own death. Oh, who's the guy that jumped out of the plane with the money? Somebody will think of it. The apocalyptic prophecy of the popes. Okay, writing as fast as I can. I know you do, Dee Dee. Paradise, Maui, California. Exactly, Teresa. What kind of watercolor is your favorite? Ellen's coming in and saying, "Can we do some art around here?" Ellen, there are real artists out there who DB Cooper. Who are going to give you the names of Bill Cooper. I think that's the one, Tina, not Bill. It's DB Cooper. Mantis telepathic aliens. Hang on, let me write this down. Well, just aliens in general. But anyway, Sherry's going, yes, please. Devon pulled over. But I think if you talk to professional artists, they're going to give you the names of professional grade watercolors and say, that, and everybody I'm sure has their favorite. And I have some artist grade watercolors. I've got M. Graham and Daniel Smith and a few Schminke and Asoldo designs like Winsor and Newton. The thing is, the artist grade paints, their pigments are just higher quality. They're excellent. They behave perfectly, but they're very, very pricey. And so is there a watercolor conspiracy? I'm going to have to look it up, Dee Dee. The plane and the money, yeah. And I'm going to have to talk to my son about it too because, yeah, anyway. You can buy them in tubes, and the some of the artist grade you can get in little pan sets. So what I would do if I was you, is start out, if you're just getting into watercolor. Hi, Starla, you missed all the conspiracy fun. I heard that too, Teresa. But if you're just starting out with watercolor, what I would say is buy some less expensive watercolors just to get a feel for if you even like messing with the brushes and all that. And then kind of work your way up. I've done a lot of art on this channel using Crayola watercolors. They're obviously not artist grade, but you can create some really beautiful art. In fact, I've got one right here that I can remember. I mean, you can make some really nice art with dirt cheap, like children grade watercolors. Any Crayola product, and I'm not a Crayola salesman, LiDAR uncovers conspiracies. Hopefully it's in here. Okay, this is Crayola watercolor on B paper. B paper is available at Walmart and it's inexpensive. And then this one, I didn't write down what it was, but I think the day I was doing this comparison, I was using artist grade watercolors on this side, and then this I did on a less expensive paper to so that you could see you can create exactly. You can create great art with inexpensive products. So don't ever feel like, oh, I want to try watercolor, so I need to go spend a ton of money on M. Grams or Daniel Smith or Winsor Newton or Cotman or any of them. This particular journal is 100% cotton fiber. The paper is just awesome. So what I would say is, rather than spend a bunch of money on the watercolors, when you're testing and playing, use a little bit better grade paper. If you use any watercolor, I don't care if it's M. Graham, Daniel Smith, any of them, if you use it on crap paper, they're not going to behave normally. Their pigments are going to be awesome, but you're just not going to get good results. So watercolor is a combination of pigments and paper. But just to play with, get yourself some inexpensive watercolors and play. So, yeah, that's all well, what have I done in here? Oh, this was Magicals. I wanted to see how Magicals behaved on the higher end paper. And this, I think, no, this is watercolor. I just didn't write down what watercolor it was, just to see how they mixed and played. So thank you, Teresa. Thanks, Keeks. Yeah, the Winsor Newton, Cotman, those are all student grade at Michael's. I'm not a fan of them, so it's hard to ask me, what's your favorite watercolor? Because depending on what I'm doing, if I'm just playing, I don't care if I'm using Prima, Grabby, it doesn't matter. But if I was doing a painting that I felt confident enough and was good enough for a gift, then I would go with the artist grade. But again, some of them, somebody who wrote that, Margarite said $32 for a tube. I can get them cheaper than that, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're just starting out. You can get tube or pan, Ellen, but the thing is, I have a bunch of them in tubes, but I put them into pans and let them harden and then re-wet them when I need them, mostly for convenience. But you can also buy some of the artist grade already poured into pans. So go on, I think Amazon has some of them. You can go on and type in Daniel Smith watercolors and they'll come up with some of the, but I wouldn't buy the tubes until you're absolutely certain it's a color and a product that you're going to enjoy, because you can sink a ton of money in this stuff. Like, believe me, I'm an expert on burying money in this stuff. But I'm not unhappy. So, you know, there you go. Just Crayola on B paper. Get on it, girl. It'll give you an idea if you just enjoy spending the time. I hate to see new artists spend a bunch of money and then figure out that, you know, maybe oil pastels aren't for them or pan pastels aren't for them because you sink a lot of money into this stuff. So get yourself some halfway decent paper. The B paper at Walmart is, in my opinion, really good. And then mid-grade watercolors, I would say play with the Grabbies or the Prima. One paint that I've just tried recently, and they don't behave like regular watercolors, is the Kuretake. Gansai Tambi or something like that, I think is how you pronounce it. They are nice, and they come in full pans. And they're from Japan, and I would say they're awesome. I've had a ton of fun with them. So, but again, they're very pricey. Yeah, see that I'm the same way, Tina. I mean, that's why when Dee Dee showed those grabby paints this morning, I was just like, oh, I want them so bad. And then I'm thinking, you don't use half the ones you got, dumbass. What are you doing? What are you thinking? Are you crazy? When was the last time you see me get all the Primas out? And I like the Prima paints. That's the Canada price? Oh, Margarite, you need to drive across the border, girl. Any Kuretake product is going to be good. I have no problem saying that. If it has Kuretake on it, buy it. You'll like it. Okay, did we do all the conspiracies that I need? Or any other questions about something that I maybe even have a little bit of knowledge about? And you're right. I just go back and chat and saw Teresa Lilly said the generic Michaels watercolor paints are junk. I agree. They're junk. Don't even use them. The reason you can trust Crayola is they have a reputation on the line. So you're going to get decent products from them. Okay, Missy, I'm reading back in chat to see what I missed. You're saying you're trying to make pictures like in the abstract watercolor book, but your paints don't run to make pictures like that. I'll tell you very clearly, the problem you're having is not the watercolors as much as it is the paper. Get yourself, most of the watercolor paper, inexpensive watercolor paper, has a high percentage of cellulose in it. Try and find some, and I don't know if the B paper has any cotton fiber at all, but she's obviously using a higher end watercolor paper. I don't know that you need 100% cotton fiber paper, but it's how the paper is using the moisture for the paints to run like they do. The other day when I did it, I was using some of the granulating paints, and they didn't run as well. And that's because they were heavy pigmented paints. So just keep switching out the variables until you can see that your water is running. But when you want paint to run like that, your paper has to be pretty darn wet. Okay? So I can get some of that out and I can kind of show you. All right, I think I got back where I could see all the chat. It doesn't matter if you drive across the border, the exchange rate is, oh, okay. All right, dang it. I got Bigfoot on there, Ellen. Yeah, some of those paints are just too expensive. They're just, you know, if I was doing art to sell and I worried about light fastness and stuff like that, you know, then I think you have to invest in the products that are going to make your product last for your customer. Hi, Joe Lou. but just to play in our journals. Yeah, I'm not sure that you have to go to the high-end products. Okay, Lady True Jan just said that. You may want to try Opus Art Supplies. Well, Dorothy, I mean, the truth of it is, agreed. You're not wrong in your premise that all you need is the primary colors. You don't even need the black, because you can make black with your primary colors. But the truth of the matter is, that is a whole, color theory is something you could spend a lifetime learning. And how many of us crafter artist people are going to sit and mix the exact colors to get opera pink? We're not going to do it. So let's don't kid ourselves that that's part of the plan here. It's not. And half the fun, in my opinion, and I'm just a spoiled brat, I like getting something new and I like trying something new. So for me to order up something that I can afford and play with it, that's half the fun here. So then they used to paint with tempera made with eggs. Yeah, you can still get that paint, Kathleen. Paper cotton is the best. Yes. Yeah, 100% cotton fiber. It just handles the water better. It doesn't dry out. The cellulose grabs the water and immediately starts drying. And it doesn't let the water flow. Yeah, new is fun. You get something new and you have to try it, you have to play with it, you have to compare it. The best thing about it is you get to swatch it. Hello. It is part of the joy of arting. And so I mean, I don't think it's realistic to think that we're all going to buy 3 tubes of paint and then mix our own. We're not going to. I wish it was that easy, but it's not, because you wouldn't have such cool things as a whole box of Kuretake paint to look at. I love swatching. Love it. All right, so that was, I literally had no plan today, you guys. So unless you want to talk some more or play Pictionary, or let's figure out what we're going to do with this conspiracy book. Because much like the, this is what my initial thoughts were, and I have not given this much thought. So my initial thought was it would be kind of like the passport journal, in that I would put the title of the conspiracy on the page with the chicken. Hang on, and I'll show you guys. One of the things I enjoy doing, and I know I'm a little bit odd, or you could say I'm just flat out a freaking oddball, and I'm okay. What are we doing? We're not doing anything, Teresa. But I have all these alphabet stencils that I love using, and I've used them in the passport journal. So I probably would use these to, let's just do a practice page. Let me get another sheet of paper. I just usually keep a bunch of lined notebook paper nearby that I can play on. Okay. So let me just randomly grab. Well, I can't just randomly grab it, because let's just do this one. Let's say if I fold this in half, I'll do 1/2 of, I kind of work the right size on 1/2 of it, and we'll just see kind of what the layout. Are you going to give it a conspiracy? Oh, you know I will, Keeks. You know I will. I'll come up with something. And I might have to watercolor a chicken, or I might have to get Dee Dee to draw me a chicken, because Dee Dee draws the best chickens ever. I'm so intimidated by her chickens. Okay. So this is like 1/2 of the size of the book. Where did I put the stencil that I said I could use? Okay. So this one, if I chose like, let's just say 9/11. I probably will do some sort of border, whether it's washi tape or draw a border or just paint a border some color. So if you're wondering how I do the lettering in the passport journal, this is how I do it. And you can get these really inexpensive Chinese made stencils off of Amazon. You can just look up lettering stencils. And I've collected lettering stencils much like stamps my whole life, because it's just something I like. So I need a, ooh, look at, made just for me. So for 9/11, and I have no idea what I believe about 9/11. I think it was a tragedy no matter what, because we lost so many lives. And it got us into a 20-year war. And so then probably as I pick the conspiracy, I'll assign it a color combination. This is just how I go about doing layout pages. And part of it's from having had a small amount of training in graphics. And that's pretty much what I did with my whole life, was doing nothing but laying stuff out. But I did business forms, not marketing material or art material. But I had to figure out the best way to organize information for retrieval and stuff like that. So I'll include what the conspiracy is. It will be assigned its own chicken. I was told Opera Pink was the same pigments. Margarite, you could find that on the internet. Almost every brand. And I've shown you guys the swatch poster that I keep up in my art room. I did an entire research project on which pigments are in each color. So I would know, is the M Graham Hansa yellow the exact same as the Daniel Smith Hansa yellow? And there's I think I've shown you guys this. I'll show it to you again real quick. We're talking about everything. My brain maybe isn't following carefully. Now, whether or not this is useful to anybody but me, I don't know. But in my great big huge traveler's notebook here, where I keep all my valuable information, snark, I keep the swatch poster companion. And I'll take it out of here. But in here, is this one? Oh, yeah, it is. I thought, dang, girl, you on drugs? You high? And the less expensive paints that are made in China are not going to probably have their pigment information available. But I'll just pick the ones that I could get. Prima, I was able to get all of their pigment colors, because there had been a discussion for, oh my gosh, it started with Journal Artista actually, that a lot of the Prima little 12 pack of paints, that they were repeated several times in each of them. And so when I was making the poster, I didn't want to put the same color over and over and over, right? So I did all this research to find out which pigments were in which of the sets. So like this is Prima, the classics. in the basic yellow, there's one single pigment, and that's PY14. Well, then I can go to other brands or in the same Prima and see, did they use PY14? Okay. Jane Davenport, in her bright section, she has a bright yellow in there. That is a single pigment paint. It's PY14, and it is the same paint as in the Prima Pastel Dreams. No, not that one. Sorry, I'm a big fat liar. As in Prima the Classics, the yellow in the Classics. So, if you have that information, then you know that some of the Primas are the same as the Jane Davenport. You may or may not want to buy them, or I definitely didn't want to include them on the poster. Has everybody seen the poster? Yeah, it's a companion guide to the swatch poster. But Starla, you can laugh at me. I love to everybody laugh at me. Laugh at me. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's Jane Davenport Brights. So I had so much fun researching that poster, figuring out how to lay it out and get it perfect. And I bought the tape to measure it all off. And it was just so much what I love. Just everything is perfect. It has a lot of information. And I did learn a lot as I was doing it. And I got nothing but time on my hands. The only thing I have to do in the course of a day is make sure that Robert Vaughn doesn't starve. That's my entire life. Make sure Robert doesn't starve, because I don't want the police here saying, why does this man only weigh 78 pounds? So yeah, there's a whole companion guide. And this is, at that time, these were all the watercolors that I have. Some of them dirt cheap. And then I have not maintained it. Of course, I haven't gotten that many watercolors since then either, but I'm pretty sure the Kuritakis are not in here. I'd bet money the Kuritakis aren't in here. So, yeah. And then I designed the cover and painted it too. Swatch poster companion. Y'all can just go ahead and say, girl, you are freaking neurotic. And I'd say, damn, it's plagued me my whole life. I'll take a picture real quick of the poster. I'm not sure how it'll come out. And I probably have one in my pictures somewhere, but I don't want to look. And I'm not going to move all this stuff. Well, nah, I'm not going to move all this stuff in front of it. All right. Ask and you shall receive. All right. This is right behind me on the wall. And I don't know, it probably measures 18 inches by 14 or something like that. And then the ruler on top, Dee Dee gave me for a gift one time. And then these are all my cups. Forget sugar and spice. We're full of sarcasm and profanity. I'm a Denver Bronco fan, and you don't get to see the ruler, but I got a mug that has a ruler around it. It's very cool. So that's the companion for this. And this was, I should take this out because it was going to be a different kind of swatch book, but I lost interest. And just a bunch of doodles. When I see a doodle, I just sketch them here so I don't forget them. A lettering book. More doodles because I do doodles. Just a place to, this would be my version of Dee Dee's Society of Idea Collectors. this is my version of that. Only now I've got some more, and maybe I need to kind of reorganize it, because now I've got another one where I'm keeping the prompts and stuff like that. But it really would be better for me if I kept it all in one place. And I do love me a good traveler's notebook. And then this is just my whole nothing book but snark. Now you're sitting at your house going, she needs to freaking get a life. And I say, this is my life. This is my life. Thank you for offering, though. If you have never gotten yourself a traveler's notebook like this, and this one is a chunky monkey. Look at it, you know, and I probably could shove more in there if I want. There's just something so nice about having a nice, I probably should grab one of the other ones out and do a giveaway someday. There's just something so nice about a traveler's notebook where you can take the books in and out, and it's all on an elastic system. I obviously am not using the elastic system right now, but I don't know. There's just something so satisfying about it. And I could put a little journal with watercolor paper in here, so when I get an idea about a watercolor I want to do or something like that, that I have a place to put it. But I'm a firm believer in Dee Dee's Society of Ideas collecting. You've got to have a place where you keep your ideas, your whatever, organized. You sent me a picture on Insta. I think I'm going to do the states in it like how you have countries. Cool, Keeks. I didn't see it, but I have not been literally, I have not watched the news. I've not been on the computer. I haven't done anything for 4 days or more, because Friday I had to go to Joplin and buy a ridiculous amount of food. Ridiculous. I'm just telling you, ridiculous amount of food. And before that, I made sure that the kids' room was clean and all that. And then Saturday and Sunday, they were here. And so I won't say that I don't let them get on their screens, but as a rule, everybody pretty much has to leave their screen alone. You're not here to look at your phone. You're here to keep me entertained. Now do something and make me laugh. That's how I treat company. How about that? So yeah, I haven't seen it, but I will. I'll catch up tonight and tomorrow. But yeah, I would say if you're going to spend money, go get yourself a very cool traveler's notebook. And that's one of those things where I would say don't skimp on something like that. Buy yourself something beautiful that you love holding, that you love touching, that you want to work in. Some things, I think the amount of money or the quality of the crap that you buy doesn't really matter. But something like that you're going to make it your friend, treat yourself nice. Get yourself something nice. Even if you have to save for 3 or 4 months to do it. You're here to visit, not talk on your phone. Yeah, that's pretty much my attitude. And I hate going out to restaurants and seeing a group of people who have obviously gotten together to eat dinner, and every one of them sitting there on their individual phones. I mean, they might be showing each other stuff, but it's like, you need to put that shit down and talk to each other. Thank you, Tina. I think the kids and everybody was appreciative. And you know what I did, Dee Dee? We have a picky eater. The little great-grandson is a little bit of a picky eater, and he did fairly good with his lunch, but he didn't eat all of his lunch. And then later on, he came back, and he was hungry again. And I said, do you like grilled cheese? And he said, yeah. I said, you want a grilled cheese? So I made him a grilled cheese just like yours, Dee Dee, and he ate it, and he was happy. Hi, Alicia. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not sure where the chicken's going to end up, but I'll probably do a border, a photo of the chicken, a synopsis of the conspiracy that I'm going to do on that page. Be thinking about what else would be good to put in the journal that would be, yeah, I wasn't going to make mac and cheese. He's lucky he got a grilled cheese. Because if I saw him any more regularly than I do, I would have saved a sandwich from lunch and said, this is what you need to eat if you're hungry. Because I think you create picky eaters. I don't like that. That was a luxury I never had. And as a result, I pretty much eat everything. And my mother used to make us try crazy things. Like, I remember when she bought a kiwi, the first kiwi I had ever seen. And it was furry on the outside. And I was like, ooh, I don't want to eat that. You know, because I thought I was going to have that fur on my tongue. And, but she said, no, you're going to try it. You don't have to eat the whole thing, but you're going to try it. And as a result, I pretty much eat anything now. That's the nice thing about your cousins who live in. We get together and eat, and you have no idea any of us even have a phone. Yeah, see, I think it's valuable, and I think you have to have more rules like that in your life. Put your phones down. If you're at somebody else's house, unless it's an emergency, you're not looking at your phone. That's it. Did Bossy Butt lost your keys? Anyway. So what else do I have to put on here? Just a synopsis of the conspiracy. And I'll go ahead and do a section of pros and cons, why it would be believable and why it's batshit crazy. I don't know that I'm going to put... I don't know. I'm going to have to see kind of how it goes. I agree about food. I don't love everything, but you're willing to try it. Yeah. And I think young kids, if you let them get away with, I don't like that. There are foods all of us probably aren't really crazy about, but you can't eat, and this is what he would eat every day. You can't eat chicken nuggets every day. That's it. Here's some cow's tongue. Eat it. Cow's tongue. Why does my brain even think of that? That's what baffles me, is why would I think of cow's tongue, that I would feed this 8-year-old a big old cow's tongue? There's something wrong with me. Fruit and vegetables, yep. And I had a whole fruit and veggie tray, and there were chips and dip. There was plenty of good stuff to eat around here. Made potato salad. There was coleslaw. There was some of everything. And I had a big tray of cookies. So, you know, him going, I don't like this. It was like, oh, strangle you. All right, what else does a conspiracy journal have to have? In a code lock behind. What the hell happened with Bossy? I'm going to have to come back and read this. If your kids didn't like the dinner, they could have cereal. I remember when I was young being forced to eat stuff. Now, my mom and dad didn't force us to eat stuff, but you had to try it. And you never got away with, I don't like that. Yeah, okay, I could include the website. That's probably a good, or where the information came from. So I'll probably be talking about different YouTube channels or whatever where I went. Yeah, see, Joanne, that was more in my household. And the only thing I literally could not gag down, it didn't matter how hard they tried to get me to eat it, was calf's liver. I could not eat calf's liver. I would get it close to my mouth, and I'd be gagging before I even got it in my mouth. And so my dad stuck up for me a lot. He really did. And my mother and I fought a lot. But she's still my most favorite person in the world. Dad said, Helen, just get her a steak. Just cook her a steak. You know what my dumbass mother did? And it was round steak. It wasn't like I was getting ribeye or Wagyu beef. She got me an inexpensive round steak, and then she cooked it in the same pan that she cooked the liver in. Well, what the hell, Mom? Tastes like liver. What the hell? But I could get it down. Or evidence. Evidence is maybe I like the fancy titles. So evidence is a good one. I like that. Your personal thoughts. I'm excited about this now. Thank you, Dee Dee. Yeah, see, and I used to hear that too. There are people starving in Africa. Well, I don't know what to tell those people in Africa. If you think it'll get there, I'll put it in the mail. I don't know. The liver is gross. Yeah, liver is disgusting. But there now, Robert loves liver. I will not cook it. I will not, no. But we had a friend in Texas, and Robert said it was the best liver he'd ever eaten. She would cook Robert liver. And there's a restaurant over on the other end of the lake that will serve liver. Hi, Sue. I'm glad you stopped by. You ran a child center for the nearby university. You cooked. Rule was 3 bites. I would serve that food several times close together, and by the 3rd serving. Yeah, see, that's what I think too, Sue. You create picky eaters. Now, if there's an allergy or something, you don't want to kill the kid. Yeah. See, I think you either love liver and onions or you absolutely cannot stomach it. Okay, see, that would be my attitude, Starla. Put that crap in a box and send it to Ethiopia. Okay, bye, Kat. Thanks for being here. Look at she's puking on the way out. Now, see, I like oatmeal and stuff like that, but we were never forced to eat it. Now, see, Keeks, I will eat the gizzards. In fact, when I was in high school, the Safeway store by me had a deli, and they had cooked gizzards. I would stop and get the cooked gizzards and an avocado. Let's see who's messaging me. All right. I think I have kind of an idea of how I'm going to do this. That was what my air conditioner looked like. It was so frozen. I just picked it up and it was on my phone. I must have moved it from the picture taken. Your dad loved gizzards. We can still buy them down at the local convenience center. Thanks for the heads up, Dee Dee. I appreciate it. Well, you want to talk about crazy things. Now, you guys, I'm just wasting your time. So, but my older brother, he was such a jerk and we fought a lot. He's gone now and I'd love to have him back. But anyway, he had such a weak stomach about everything. I mean, if he saw blood, he would pass out. And we always sat in the same chairs at dinner time, and he was directly across from me. And if I was mad at him, I used to put food, like have chewed food in my mouth and open my mouth and show it to him. And he'd have to get up and run from the table gagging. And I used to do that to him all the time. How mean is that? Because then he was done eating it. He was done. That's it. No, I don't live in Texas. I live in Oklahoma, the very northeast corner of Oklahoma on Grand Lake. Oh my gosh, Margarite. It's funny. Yeah, no, I live in Oklahoma. I am. I'm so naughty. But Devon, I could tell you things he used to do to me that, yeah, anything I did to him, he so deserved it. But I remember one time he cut his foot in the neighbors across the street from us, and it started bleeding, and he passed out in the middle of the street trying to get home. You made yourself a grilled cheese a la Dee Dee? Yep, I made one yesterday. And Jackie had one too. She said, oh, it looks so good, I'm going to have one too. So she had one too. Sweeping down the plains. It is pretty here, except when we have tornadoes. Okay, Barbara, I was your brother. Just saying, I was your brother. I think this is going to be really fun. I'll try and think of some other elements to make it really interesting because I do want to incorporate more art into it. I guess one of the things I'll find while I'm researching is like the origination or yeah, I'm going to put origination or locations. So for example, if I do a double page spread on Bigfoot or Sasquatch, I'll call Dee Dee's husband and get all the information. No, I'll put the locations of maybe where they've been located, or what was the first sighting or something like that. So if I do that and I have locations, I could maybe include a little map with a star on it, something like that, because I don't want it to be just a bunch of writing. So I will want to incorporate some art in there as well. So I could always use maps, stuff like that. And I probably will end up having to print out, like for Bigfoot, in addition to the chicken, I'm going to want a picture of at least what they've said about Bigfoot, what he might look like, or an artist rendering or something like that. Location, location, location. You could almost fill an entire journal just on ancient aliens, right, Keeks? Famous quotes. If there's any quote that is pertinent, that would be okay. I wouldn't do that. Georgia has a Bigfoot museum. Well, no wonder Buddy loves it so much. That's what you said a while ago. Oh my God, Terry, I'm sorry. Even when I'm reading chat, it's hard to read all the chat. And I'm sure I'll think of more as I get into it, because, and look at Dorothy. Dorothy, you're really, really lagged. We talked about liver and onions about 20 minutes ago. Bigfoot and PJs. See, that would be funny, Teresa, if I went ahead. I'm just going to write that down. If I went ahead and drew my own Bigfoot and then put him in PJs, I know you like to bug me. I think it's your purpose in life, Terry. The only thing, I don't know. Okay, CB, you're taking off. I'm probably going to quit early today because I can't tell you how absolutely exhausted I am. Bananas in pajamas. Is that really a song, Barbara? Or are you yanking my chain? Thanks for this stuff, CB. You're the best. But I just love having these chickens. And see, the problem I'm going to have is that because this particular artist put all the chickens in pink, that it's going to be hard to incorporate another color because I'm going to want to match the chicken. Yeti will be in addition to, I'll make sure I write it down, but that will be part of Bigfoot. Where did I write that? Because I have Bigfoot, Yeti, and something. I'll put Yeti on there. Yeah, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and Yeti. They're all the same thing. I think they're just different names for the same thing, aren't they? Or is that me being a little bit dumb? The only thing of eating was blackcurrant. That made me physically sick. Well, then I would have made you eat them a lot. Yeah, sightings of giants all over. I maybe could try, Devon, change the color, but I'll probably try and get a complementary color. Robert just came in with the mail, Dee Dee. That's a lot of conspiracies. I know, Starla, right? That's what humans are all about. Okay, good. Oh my gosh, I got a bunch of cool stuff, you guys. Thanks, honey. You don't have to go now, but we're gonna have to check Nikki's mail.
You talking to me?
Yeah. I said you don't have to go now, but we need to check Nikki's mail again.
Check in the what?
Check Nikki's mail.
Nikki's mail. Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'll go do that right now.
Okay. It's raining, I think.
Yep.
Okay.
But I'll still do it.
All right. Thank you, honey. Okay, the first one I got, we're going back to yeah, the conspiracy, the postal conspiracy, Starla, is that they're the most efficient company in the whole world. That would go in the BS. Ooh, the envelope glued to this one. E. All right, these are from Joyce Waring. I'm just doing it from the top first. Robert didn't want to get that wet. He's getting in the car to drive up there. It's not that far. It's, yeah. Oh my gosh, how cute, Joyce. I haven't looked at him. You're looking at him with me. She did Tennessee. There's a little raccoon there. She did State Wild Animal is the raccoon. That's for Tennessee. State capital is Nashville. The state motto is agriculture and commerce. How cute. Oh, there's a little bit of glue there. I'm going to try and get off. She must be, let me look at her envelope. I'm going to say she must be from Tennessee. That's, yep, she's from Tennessee. This is her home state. And she included Knoxville. That's about where Jackie and Jimmy will get to tonight. The state tree is the tulip poplar. How cute is that? Learning something about Tennessee here today. And this must be a sports team. The Tennessee Dogs? I don't know. But that's the shape of Tennessee for sure. The Vols, V-O-L-S. I don't know. Now I'm just showing how stupid I am. They are so cute. The state butterfly is the zebra swallowtail. How cute is that? And she put it on the street map. Ooh, this one's cool. I'm not sure if it doesn't say. I don't know if that's like the state logo or what. Very cool though, Joyce. It feels like it should have texture, but it doesn't. Graceland. I've been to Graceland. Graceland is the home of Elvis Presley, who is not dead. The Vols. Oh, the Volunteers. You're right, Dee Dee. Thank you. No, I'm not so stupid as I was. Yeah, that's the home of Elvis Presley. And it was fun to go to, but you'd be surprised. It's a moment frozen in time almost. The carpeting and the decoration, everything, you can definitely tell the time frame. That's the Tennessee flag. Okay, thanks, Tina. The Grand Ole Opry is in Nashville. All right, there's the flag again. Okay. These are cool, Joyce. Established in 1796. It was the 16th state. Cool. And the state flower is the iris. Aren't those cute? Yeah, no, Elvis isn't dead. Very cool, Joyce. Let me count real quick. Okay, there's 10 cards and a self-addressed envelope. So she got all the requirements. Next one up is Tina Svanberg from Sweden. She typically comes to Dee Dee's quite often. And if you don't follow her on Instagram, she posts a lot on Instagram. Just look up Tina Stanberg or go look at my followers. I follow her, so you could find her that way. Yeah, I like international friends. Okay, here we go. There is a self-addressed envelope. Oh my gosh, you guys, these are so cute.
No mail.
No, ma'am. Thank you for checking.
No mail.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh my gosh, look at a Swedish monkey. She writes, "Hi, I hope this gets to you in time. Sending some goodies to you. The stamps are her own carved ones. Thank you so much for doing this work." Okay. You're welcome, Tina. All right, here we go. I'm going to put those aside and show them last, and I'll show the other stuff that she included. That's a cute monkey. Cute monkey. There's a napkin. Wildlife napkin. Oh my gosh, a Disney cartoon in Swedish. So I'll just make up what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying. I'll just make it up. That's kind of crazy to think that cartoons that we think of as ours are actually Sweden's too. How cute. 3 Little Pigs. Lilla Vargan. See, I wish I could read it. Get up, you lazy butt. Hey, that's a cat. Go to the Conspiracy Journal. There's a bunch of chickens there. You can get some breakfast. Julia Roberts. Oh my God! Look at Julia Roberts' armpits. Yeah, I was thinking that too, Teresa. That's disgusting. I wonder why she doesn't shave her armpits. Did you want to gross me out, Tina? What the hell? That's the big bad wolf's kiddo. Oh, okay. That's a wolf, not a cat. Well, it sure looks like a cat to me. See? Foreigners know my cartoons better than I do. I'm not sure I was ever a huge cartoon watcher. I like cartoon books, like comic books. I love comic books, but I don't think I ever sat around and watched cartoons. I don't think my mother would let me. She was like, get outside or vacuum. Those are your choices. Your ass is either outside or it's in here vacuuming. What do you want to do? Sweden has 25 provinces, and each of them has an animal and a flower. Cool. So I'm going to mispronounce this. Please forgive me. I'm an arrogant, ignorant American, so this is how I am. Skane or scone, I don't know. Fallow deer and daisies are their flower. Cool. Has 25 provinces. Bleking, their flower is the primrose, and the stag beetle is their I would have found a better animal. Sorry, Bleking. This is Halland, and it's a salmon and a flower called the broom. I would go to Sweden. Sweden has always been very attractive to me. This is Åland, and it's the rock rose and the nightingale. Cool. And all the images, the Swedish images, are very cool too. Yeah, I like the facts too, Keeks. And this is Gotland, and each one it's highlighted on the Swedish map where it's located, so it's hard to see on the camera, but when you get it, if you get it, you'll see. And it was ivy is their flower or plant, and hedgehog is, oh, they got a hedgehog for their animal. I would like a hedgehog. This is Delarna, and it's highlighted where it is, and it's big. Carl Larson. So I'm assuming that maybe he's the artist that is shown in the background. And their animal is the eagle owl, and their flower is the bluebell. No, Nora Lapland. So I'm going to say that that's North Lapland. And theirs is the Arctic fox and the mountain avens. Probably fairly cold up there the majority of the year. This is Smallland, and their flower is the linea, and their, animal is the otter. And is this the second time today we had talked about otters in chat? This is Dollsland, and it's pretty small. And their animal is the raven, and their flower is the forget-me-not. That looks beautiful there. And this is Varmland, and their animal is a wolf, and their flower is the Arctic starflower. And she has something here, Picasso sculpture and Neospirillans. So that must be this other item that she included. Cool. Y'all are not going to stay dumbasses your whole life, because you're going to get some of these knowledgeable ATCs. Tina, they're awesome. Thank you. I'm so happy you participated with us. And thank you for all the extra goodies. Very cool. And then Dee Dee sent hers priority mail, because hers included not only her own, but Denise's. So, yeah, you'll have to wait while I get into the package that Dee Dee sent, and y'all know how she goes crazy to make sure you don't get in there. All right, pulling all this stuff out. It smells pretty. Here's some extras. There's, oh, you did your address for Denise. Okay. So I've got 2 envelopes. Thank you for the stampage, Dee Dee. You did not have to do that. They get giant paper clip. Hang on, I'm trying to get everything. Dee Dee does some serious packaging, I'm just telling you. Dee Dee sent me a print of robots in space. And then a ruler. And something about Tulsa. Tulsa is the oil capital, and we are definitely an energy producer. And a cigar box. How cool. Thank you, Dee Dee. The robots in space came out really cool. And I'm going to end up having to get your darn printer, Dee Dee. Look at how good that printed. That's amazing. Mine wouldn't print that good. I didn't see if it was on the sticker paper. It's not. But yeah, the print quality on these is amazing. I'm going to have to spend the money. I'm just going to have to do it. I've been putting it off and putting it off. I don't know. I'm not sure how long I can put that off. Thank you for the extra, Dee Dee. You're so nice to me all the time, and I'm not even sure why. And Dee Dee was kind enough to send extra postage, so thank you. I do, Tina, I don't have it right on the top of my head, but she's told me what kind of printer she has. It's an eco printer. Actually, it's been in and out of my cart 5,000 times. All right. I'll show Dee Dee's first. You guys have seen these. I don't know why. Let me get something to drink.
Downstairs.
You've seen these. These are with the doors that open. The gold that glittered. Egypt with some symbology on there and a hole. These are cool, Dee. And that gold flake. Well done, girl, girl, girl. And then we saw her do the back. She did that on stream. Look at that washi tape. Oh, and that's not washi tape. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's cool. These are cool, huh? I like the door idea, the interactiveness of these. Cool ephemera. She tried to remember. Yeah, saw Dee Dee make them. Very cool. I like the symbolism. Maybe we ought to try. That's where you normally get in trouble. You want to try? No, probably not smart. No, let's try. Let's do it. Okay. Next thing you hear is sirens. The doors are a great idea. I absolutely agree. And I'm not sure if these particular doors that she included on these are out of Catherine Anderson, but if you like the whole idea of a door kind of format, look up Catherine Anderson Doors and Windows, I think is what the book is called. So cool, each one of them. And the backgrounds are jelly printing that Dee Dee did herself. Yeah, they're fabulous as always. The stars come nightly to the sky. She put little quotes on them. So cool, Dee Dee. Such a great idea. I like the hole. I'm not sure why I love the hole so much. They are Catherine Anderson. Okay, I thought they were. But you have so many that it could be a lot of people in an unfamiliar, silent place. It's just such a great idea. I like this space idea, though, too. Awesome. The first step in a journey. So when you get it, pull it out and open the door, because I'll have to, of course, close them and make sure they're flat to send them out. But all the beautiful stars of the sky. So cool. On her way home. So if you're lucky, you'll get one of those. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so that was 10 that I just showed. And these are some extras that she sent, so I'll have ample. Yeah, I saw her working on these too. I really like that gold stamp that she did in the background. These are the ones that Boo worked on. Yeah. Yeah, and then she outlined them in gold. Put the Timmy people on. And, of course, Dee Dee with a watch. Very cool. Boo did a good job. And I feel like I want to send Boo some back. So I'm going to probably make Boo her own. Of course, she may not even want them. Why are you giving me this crap? But when she gets it, she'll go, wow. But that stamp in the background is very, very awesome. Very cool. So tell Boo thank you. But I feel like I ought to send Boo something in return. She shouldn't have to participate in a swap and not get anything back. But thanks for sending the extras, Dee Dee. And then my very own Denise decided to play with us, and I'm pretty sure I understood her to say that she's never ever done ATCs before. So let's take a look at them. I saw her working on some of these. She's so cute when she gets the brush with her ink, and she's so careful and everything. She's adorable. And she did put her name on him, so good on her. Or Dee Dee put it on for her. And this has like a copper edging. United Arab Emirates. And hers are both sides, so yeah, cool. Very subdued coloring and everything. Yeah, they're her first ATCs. So this is Russia. How cute. Australia. I actually, when I was in Australia, this is in fact a street sign in Australia. So I brought home shot glasses for everybody that has the kangaroo street sign on it. That's pretty. I like that one, Australia. I like all of them. Leaning Tower. Italia. Very cool. For her first time, I would say Denise excelled. And it's just a collage of stickers and stuff, but the way they're put together is really, really well done. So if she wants to sit around and say, I don't have artistic ability, she doesn't know what she's talking about, because I can tell by the layout and the balance and everything that she has far more talent than she's given herself credit for. I have that stamp. I like that one. Very official looking. Yeah, Denise did great. I'm glad they came in time so I could show them before I ended. That's New York City. I'm not sure if that's the bridge that got run into or not. I don't think it is, but it might be. Statue, that's the Brooklyn Bridge. Machu Picchu. Again, reminds me of BJ, my buddy BJ. She did great, Dee Dee. Tell her I said that. I loved how she used the washi tape, and yeah, she did awesome. She really did. For a first timer and being so nervous. So good on her. And that's Egypt, obviously. I like this one. The layout is just very cool. And Christ the Redeemer. I think Dee Dee, the background of this one is some Dee Dee jelly printing too. I'm almost sure. Turkey, Istanbul. Now this one's weird because this is Brazil. Christ the Redeemer is Brazil. And then there's Turkey and Istanbul back here, but who cares? It's all the same. Very cool. Well done, Denise. Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Isn't that the truth? I think the difference is Dee Dee just has always had an interest from childhood and has put time and effort into it. And now Denise is just recognizing that she has a love of creating with her hands. So yeah, see, that's what I think too, Starla, that they would be awesome for a veteran ATC maker, not just somebody who started today. So Dee Dee, please pass on the comments from chat that everybody was wildly approving and enthusiastic about her extraordinary skills. And then Dee Dee sent me some, ooh, it's kind of sticky, jelly print paper. I love that gold. The gold stays a little sticky though. I'm scared I'm going to rip it. I like it on the black. Jelly print more on black. Dee Dee, this is very cool where you can kind of see the black through it here and there. That is way cool. how the paints blend and stuff. It's very cool looking. So I wish there was enough of this. Well, I could maybe do a collage where I think I will. All right, these 2 pages I'm going to rip up. Don't freak out when I say that, but I'm going to rip them up and use them together and collage the inside of my conspiracy journal. I should have enough if I rip it up and collage it together, that I should have enough to put like book papers into here, because that almost covers that whole one. And with this one and leftover from that, I might have to add one more sheet in, but I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, this teal and gold one with black, that is gorgeous. I love that. And I don't want to just stick it in with the other jelly prints, because I'm afraid if I do that, I'll never use it again. So thank you, Dee Dee. I'm going to leave this right here at the back, and I might do that tomorrow when I just need to sit and heal from weekend at Bernie's or whatever you call this last weekend. Yeah, I think that would be cool too. Oh, Dee Dee, I can make do with that. I'll just look through what I've had. Devon has sent me some cool stuff too. And if I have 3 sheets that I can tear and mix up, it should be okay. And then the giant paper clip. So I'm glad it got here today, Dee Dee. So my guess is in the next week and a half before the deadline, which is about what? More than 10 days. That's the 29th. Yeah, we've got about a week and a half before the deadline. My guess is next Monday I'm going to have a bunch more submissions. So thanks to everybody who played. So if that was 24, 25, 26, so we're at 27 participants right now. That's pretty good turnout, I think. I really do. So you guys, sorry I didn't create a lot of art today and that I had to use up your brain, but that's what my life was about today. Yeah, Devon, I was glad that yours and Terry's, because you'd both asked me, and Joanne had all asked me about whether or not they'd gotten there. So yeah, I'm tickled to death that they're getting here in time. Maybe the post office isn't as inept as I talk about it, but it is. So don't listen to me. Yeah, I think it's been good turnout too, Dee Dee. Yeah. So if you think of any more ideas for the conspiracy journal, you can always drop me a message on Instagram. Save it up for a stream, put it in comment. Well, don't put it in comments under a video, because I'm kind of hit and miss about those. But I do try, but I don't try hard enough, obviously. So I think everybody's doing great, Dee Dee. I really appreciate everybody's efforts. I'm always pleasantly surprised at the talent that we get exposed to every time. So yeah, I'm going to call it a short stream today and keep thinking about conspiracies and what I want to do to make it look really fun and what I want to use in it. I don't know. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. You guys, thank you so much. I know your time is valuable. You have tons of stuff you could be doing, and I very much appreciate that you spend some time with me. So go out and try and be kind. Don't kill anybody. Don't slap anybody. Be a good person. And yeah, we will talk later, Dee Dee. All right, you guys. Thank you again, and love you guys. See you later. Bye.